Hi everyone, welcome back to my class. This is Romana Ali. I hope you all are doing well. In today's class, I'm going to start a new chapter, and the name of our chapter is Endocrine System and Chemical Coordination. Endocrine system is a system that is present in our body and that is responsible to secrete the different hormones. We have already discussed about the different glands that are there in our body in your lower classes, but let us just have a recall all that basic things that we need to know whenever we are talking about the system called endocrine system. So in the endocrine system, you will be finding the presence of different glands. The different glands are present in our body and they are mainly of two types. One is exocrine glands and the other one is endocrine glands. So basically glands are divided into two main types, exocrine and endocrine glands. Exocrine glands can also be termed as duct glands and endocrine glands can also be called as ductless glands. Let us take some examples to learn about the duct gland and about the ductless gland in detail. So here we will take an example of our stomach. In the stomach, here at this region, some of the glands are present in your stomach like this. So when you enlarge the diagram of a gland, the gland which is present in our stomach, that is called as gastric gland. When you enlarge the structure of the gastric gland, it will be like this. It will be like a pouch. Okay. Now, whatever the secretions that are there in the stomach, it will be stored in the gland. So what are the different secretions that you can find in our stomach? It will be HCl, it will be pepsinogen. So all these different kinds of secretions can be secreted in the gastric gland, and whenever these secretions needs to be released out of the gland at that time, it is moving through a duct. The chemicals can be released through a duct. So this is the duct and this is our gastric gland. So as the glands are showing the duct in order to release its secretions, we call these exocrine glands as duct gland. But when we talk about endocrine gland, then there will be no any duct present to release the secretion. It directly releases the secretion into the blood. How it happens? Let us take one more example here. And here we will be taking an example of any organ. Organ is made up of cells, we know, and in the organ different capillaries. This is our blood artery. This artery breaks into different capillaries and then these capillaries combines together and it is forming a vein. So the blood which is carried into the organs through the blood capillaries, it can be comes out of the blood capillaries as an interstitial fluid, right? So when it comes out of the blood capillaries, it will be there in the organ, and here the organs, they will releases carbon dioxide as well as the organs can also releases the different hormones. So we'll take here a specific example of thyroid organ. So when you see the thyroid gland, it is responsible to release a hormone called thyroxine. So when a hormone is released by the thyroid gland, it will mixes up in the interstitial fluid, and when the interstitial fluid enters into the blood capillaries back, at that time along with some other substances like carbon dioxide and other materials, the hormones can also get into the blood capillaries. They can also move into the blood capillaries. Okay. So in this way, there will be no any duct present here to take the secretions into the blood. Directly the secretions or directly the hormones are entering into the blood capillaries. This is how the secretions can enter into the blood vessels without any duct. So this is the reason why we call the endocrine glands as ductless glands. So the secretions which are secreted by the duct gland, they includes saliva, mucus, enzymes. All these are the different secretions that requires a particular duct in order to move, in order to releases out. Okay, but endocrine glands shows you the secretions like testosterone, thyroid stimulating hormone, LH, luteinizing hormone. All these are the different kinds of hormones. So these type of hormones can be released without any duct. They can be released by our endocrine glands. So this is about the classification of glands based on the presence of duct. If the duct is present, then it is called as exocrine gland, and it can secrete the different secretions like saliva, mucus and enzymes. And if we talk about endocrine glands, then there will be no duct present to releases the secretion into the blood. Endocrine glands are the glands that are responsible to secrete the different hormones like testosterone, thyroid stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. All these kinds of chemicals that are hormones can be released by the endocrine glands. Let us see the different types of hormones that are secreted by our glands. Here we will take an example of any gland again. Let us take an example of pituitary gland. This is a gland which is called as a master gland, and it is found in our brain. We all know that the blood is going to be circulated through blood capillaries, and it can comes out through our vein. Now, the pituitary gland is responsible to secrete a hormone called LH. So, LH is secreted by the pituitary gland into the blood. This blood is going to circulate throughout of our body. It will goes into each and every part of our body, but the hormone which is released by the pituitary gland, it will show its effect wherever it is necessary. Where the requirement is there for luteinizing hormone, there only it shows its effect. For example, the organs called testes. Testes are the male sex organs which are found in the human body, and these testes are made up of different cells. They are made up of some specialized cells also. We call these cells as Leydig cells. So, luteinizing hormone stimulates the Leydig cells to releases another hormone, and that hormone is testosterone. Okay, so one gland is responsible to secrete a hormone. That hormone will not show any effect on that particular gland itself, but it will go to other organ in order to show its effect, in order to stimulate the production of different hormones. Such hormones can be termed as circulating hormone, which do not show any effect on its own gland. So, these type of hormones are called as circulating hormone. They will circulate throughout of our body in the blood, and they will show its effect wherever it is essential. So, at a particular point or at a particular organ only it shows its effect. So, this type of hormone is called as circulating hormone. Now, one more type of hormone is present in our body. It is also found in our body, and we call that hormones as local hormones. So, what do I mean by local hormones? Here we will take an example of testes again. This is a testes where the Leydig cells are found. Leydig cells, they are releasing hormone called testosterone. Testosterone is a hormone which is responsible for secondary sexual characters. Mustache, beard, all these different characters can be obtained in the body of a male by the release of a hormone called testosterone. It is not only affecting one part of the body, but it shows its effect on the different parts of the human body. So, this type of hormone can be termed as local hormone. How it is showing its effect? These are the Leydig cells which releases the testosterone. This testosterone moves into the blood, and it will be circulating in the different parts of our body, and it shows its effect in the different parts. Besides this, the testosterone will also show its effect on its own cell. That means on the cells of testes also it shows its effect for the development of secondary sexual characters. This is how certain hormones are present that shows its effect on the gland itself, on the organ itself where its gland is present, and this type of hormone also shows its effect on the different parts of our body, on the different organs. So these kind of hormones can be termed as local hormones. So hormones are of two types, one is circulating hormone and the other one is local hormone. Circulating hormone are the hormones which are released by one gland and it shows the effect on some other part of our body. Local hormones are the chemical substances or the hormones which are released by one gland. That hormone shows its effect on that particular organ also, and it also shows the effect on the other different organs of the human body. This is how the hormones are classified into two main types, circulating and local hormones. In the human body, the two types of chemicals are released by the different systems. One is our hormones which are related to endocrine system, and the other one is our neurotransmitters which are related to the nervous system. So hormones are the chemicals that are released into the blood in trace amount. That means in a very small quantity these hormones are released into the blood of our body. They are non-nutrients and they affect the functioning of the distant cells. Just before we have seen how the luteinizing hormone that is released by the pituitary gland can affect the role of testes. Likewise, the hormones are the chemicals which affect the functioning of distant cells. Okay, and they show their effect only when they bind to the receptors that are found on the glands, on the different glands of our body. So the different glands of the human body secretes different kinds of hormones into the blood, and the hormones are nothing but the chemical substances which are released by the different gland into the blood either through duct or directly. So this is how the different chemicals are released, and they are responsible to carry out the different functions of our body. Next one is neurotransmitter. These are also chemicals, but what is the difference between the neurotransmitter and hormones? Hormones are the chemicals that are released by the glands, and neurotransmitters are the chemicals that are released from a neuron, and that too at synapse. So we know that synapse is the connection between the two nerve cell or the two neurons. So the chemicals that are released from one neuron, these are called as neurotransmitters. These neurotransmitters are the chemicals that takes the signal into another neuron. So this is how the neurotransmitters are related to nervous system, and these are the chemicals which are released from one neuron at synapse. So this is the difference between the hormones and neurotransmitter. Hormones are related to our endocrine system and neurotransmitters are related to our neural system, that is our nervous system. Let us see the different glands, endocrine glands that are present in the human body. We know that glands are the parts that are responsible to secrete the different hormones. If a part or an organ secretes a hormone or a chemical substance that is responsible to carry out the different changes in the human body, then that type of organ or a part can be termed as a gland. And here we are going to see the different glands, endocrine glands that are found in the human body. So when you see your brain, in the brain two main glands are found. One is pineal gland and the other one is pituitary gland. Pituitary gland is termed as master gland. Why it is called as master gland? That I will tell you in a minute. So pituitary gland is found in the hypothalamus region of our brain, and then here below here in the neck region or in the pharynx region Below the pharynx, you will be finding a gland that is called as thyroid gland. And thyroid gland is responsible to secrete the different hormones like thyroxine. Okay. Next one is, in the thyroid gland, one more specialized gland is present, and that gland is called as parathyroid gland. We are going to discuss about each and every gland in this chapter in detail. Just for now, you need to remember all the different names of the gland and where they are present, that you need to see. So, here near your heart, you will be finding one gland, and we call that gland as thymus. And then behind the stomach or near the stomach, one organ is present, that is called as pancreas. Pancreas is also considered as a gland because it is responsible to secrete a hormone called insulin. Insulin is an essential hormone for the human body in order to regulate the sugar levels. So, pancreas is a gland that is responsible for the secretion of insulin. Over the kidneys also you will be finding the presence of one gland, and we call that gland as adrenal gland. Adrenal gland is responsible to secrete different hormones like adrenaline. Okay. In the females, ovaries are present. They also secrete some kinds of hormones that are very essential for the development of secondary sexual characters. So, as the ovaries are releasing the hormone, as they are secreting the different chemical substances, we can consider the ovary as the gland. So, ovary is also an endocrine gland which is found in the females. In males, for the secondary sexual character, for the development of the secondary sexual characters, testes are the organs that are considered as the glands because the testes are responsible to secrete a hormone called testosterone, which brings a lot of changes, which brings the development in the characters of an individual. So, this is how the testes are the endocrine glands that are found in the males, and ovaries are the endocrine glands that are found in the body of females. So, pineal gland, pituitary gland present in our brain. Below the pharynx, thyroid gland is present. Thymus is present near our heart. Adrenal glands are present over the kidneys. Ovary is present in the females, and testes are the glands that are present in the males. And pancreas is also a gland that is present in the human body. All the above glands are common in both males and females, but ovary is found only in females and testes are found only in the body of males. So, these are the different endocrine glands that you can see in the human body. That's all for today. Thank you.